This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
This
Just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday, ladies.
Happy Thursday.
How we feeling?
Good. I feel
I
amazing.
feel like I
How
just
you
walked in to
feeling?
present something at UPS. Hey, who's ready to work? Hi, I am. All right, let's get to it. We do have a lot to get to today. An emotional email reportedly sent to Brad Pitt from his ex, Angelina Jolie, is shedding some light on why she decided to sell her stake in the French chateau and winery they both own. So the email is apparently on TikTok, but it's actually a part of court documents involving the various lawsuits against each other. In the email, Angelina wrote, over the past 4 years, she was left out of many of the business decisions involving the chateau, but said her decision to sell was personal. She wrote, quote, It's the place we brought the twins home to and where we were married over a plaque in my mother's memory. A place that held the promise of what could be and where I thought I would grow old. She went on to say, I did not feel I can be involved publicly or privately in a business based on alcohol when alcoholic behavior harmed our family so deeply, of course alluding to the 2016 flight where she said Brad drunkenly assaulted their children. Is the show over? Do we still have time to talk?
I was like, damn. Way to go.
No, we needed to squeeze all that in because that's the place where she's coming from. She sold that business without Brad's consent earlier this year. So that's where the fighting, I think, is stemming from.
Yeah, my dad always said, first of all, I'm so sorry they're having issues. Let me just put that out there. There are no emotions in contracts. It doesn't matter if she felt uncomfortable at that winery. You signed a deal. I'm not taking his side. I'm simply saying that's not a defense for breaking a contract. Because you felt the alcohol was involved in that way, that takes lawyers to go over the contract, to break it, and do it legally. At this point, it's even more incriminating that she tried to sell it because she didn't feel good about it.
She did sell it.
Well, then
without
she did,
Brad's consent.
and that's not okay.
I think the bigger thing to me was the sale. Like, why would you sell it to a Russian oligarch?
I know.
Like, it just feels like out of all the people and at this time in our country
Totally agree,
and what we're
Lindsay.
going through, it's just like, pick a
Weird choice.
Yeah, weird choice.
Weird choice.
There are other issues, and I'm not a lawyer, so I'm sure your dad gave you sound advice on that end. But for me, that's like,
you can't break it because you don't feel good about it. That doesn't work.
I just assumed that it was a money thing. Not that she needed the money, but if she was trying to do like what sounded to be a fire sale, that a Russian oligarch would be a more practical choice for that reason alone. I can't think of any other reason.
no morals. Don't worry about morals at all.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of, at this point, like,
They're just killing people over there.
Yeah,
that's
true. It's a bad look.
But who's playing fair? Like, there is no fairness, there is no morality in what's happening at this point, especially because she's accusing her ex-husband of assaulting their children. So I think that when you're looking at because I kept saying there's always that one thing during a breakup.
Right.
There's one thing that symbolizes something about the relationship that you want to control or you don't want someone else to control. And for whatever reason, it's the chateau.
Yeah. It's not going to go her way, I fear.
Well, it's not going anybody's way, it seems like right now, right? This is just being dragged through the mud, and now it's going on years with this. So hopefully for the kids' sake, I say the same thing all the time, they get it figured out pretty quickly.
Agreed.
All right, so Law and Order organized crime star Christopher Meloni is talking about being a zaddy. Yes! He's featured on the current issue of People magazine, where he said he never expected to become a sex symbol at the age of 61. He started turning heads, of course, when he appeared to work out nude for a Peloton ad. He said he's happy to ride the zaddy wave for as long as he can. 61, props.
He looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
He looks good he looks great.
Tell us how you feel.
Right? He looks great.
From all angles?
From all angles. He has famously, he works out his squats and his rear is great. It looks good. He's very proud of it.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
No, but and I think it's great. Zaddy to me, I don't know daddy and zaddy.
How did that sound coming out of my mouth?
Not good.
Not great? It didn't sound good.
Well, Christopher Meloni also is like a blockbuster because he's done roles that have been heterosexual, homosexual. He has fluidity. So
he's in comedy as well. Yeah.
Right. So there's this. Well, I'm just saying it doesn't, like, generally he's embraced everyone. So he seems very open. So it's like, it's not just like women or just men or whatever. It's like people are really invested in Christopher Meloni.
So I got some facts here that are pretty interesting. So the word first appeared in 2008.
Zaddy?
In a Ty Dolla $ign song.
No, Dre made it up, actually.
I was hoping that was the case. I was really hoping that was the case.
He actually coined that phrase.
But the Urban Dictionary says it means a man who is fashionable, confident, and attractive with swag.
Okay, Dre.
Agree?
Period.
Yes? Yes.
Is Jeff Zaddy?
Jeff Zaddy.
Oh.
Especially the gray hair.
Yes! All right, we're going to end that there and go on vacation.
I set you up for that one.
Let's go to another story. Cher is listing her Malibu mansion for $85 million. Cher purchased the property back in 2089 because in 1989. It sounded like an old joke, but it wasn't. In 1989, but I was going to say, guess for how much? You guys are already looking at it.
Well, we know.
Yeah, $3 million. Holy smokes. And spent 5 years building an Italian-inspired mansion, which includes a pool, guest house, and full tennis courts. There's even 7 bedrooms, a meditation room, a panic room, and even a climate-controlled wig room.
Who doesn't have that, right?
The whole property is about 1.7 acres overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
Location, location, location. If anybody understands anything about real estate, you can have the same home in multiple locations and it could be double, triple, quadruple the price.
85 to
yes,
3 million to 85?
They're building homes, they ain't building no more land.
That's right.
So if you can get a location that is sought after and is going to appreciate over time, because let's face it, look at Malibu now. When she moved there in 1989,
I was gonna say, look at Malibu, it's all built
it
up
was
around
more
her.
open, right?
That's
so there's no place else for people to build, and that's what creates the value of your home.
I totally agree, and I also, when you drove down PCH, which is the Pacific Coast Highway, didn't you always know Cher's house?
Really? I didn't.
Oh, I showed everyone. It was this massive thing right when you got into Malibu, and I thought, man, that location, as it all built up, was perfect.
And that view with the meditation room? Oh my God, dream house.
Open
I was
view,
like,
open, very smart.
You missed your calling, Tori, with real estate.
What?
Who would have pegged that was a great location?
Dude, no.
But at the time, like 1989, exactly.
Who
like
wants a view of the ocean and you drink your coffee on the beach?
I can't.
Oh, God.
Anyways, I just put that into the ocean, that whole story.
Yeah.
But 89 million, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Rita Wilson. She's telling us about her new album of 70s era duets. And talk show host Graham Norton speaks about cancel culture. Ooh,
I can't wait.
Coming up next.
I love him.
Closed captioning provided by Just a Piece.
I'm easily tickled, y'all. It doesn't take much.
I'm gonna sit here and be right.
I know y'all gonna be mad at me, but I'm just telling you the truth.
You can smirk all you want. You don't have to tell me to go.
Brad Pitt.
Somebody who loves Cher that's rich is gonna buy it.
Yeah, if you're Cher
it's like, oh my God, Cher.
I don't know.
All right.
Do I start?
Yep. All right. What are we talking about today?
Duran's breaking something down for us.
If I could turn back time, I would also have that house.
You're jumping back in this?
I'm just saying, I think that was a really great, cool move of her. I thought everyone knew about Cher's house. It was like a thing.
I never knew.
No, I know about like the Versace house because it's in the center of Miami. And it really says Versace on the gate.
Right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what's weird though? Like when you drive down to PCH, it's like these little doors. Like you just see doorways, like, but then when you go into them or on the beach, they're humongous. But when you're on a PCH, it just looks like almost a garage with a door on it.
Yeah,
And that's how you get in.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you also have to consider, like, a lot of these houses, it's weird, like that in the Hamptons and like Vancouver, like these big or very popular places for rich people to buy. Because if you were in an average community, if you had a home that was right off of a major highway or if it was right off of a major street, it would depreciate the home by a lot. But because of the nature of how the actual environment is, those houses are worth just as much, but they find ways to still have that barrier.
Right.
That's why gated communities are like so popular and stuff, because people don't have direct access to your front door.
Yeah, that makes a lot. You should have been in real estate. That's pretty good.
You know,
You definitely.
I'm doing my personal real estate.
I used her real estate agent just to buy a house because I was like, well, if Erica did it, I should do it. I literally bought it in the same neighborhood. I just copied Erica completely. By the way, shout out to Kate. You're a great real estate agent. Enter line. She was
killing it.
She's killing it. She's doing great. She really turned out to be a friend.
Go Kate, go.
Welcome back. Talk show host Graham Norton says he has an issue with the term cancel culture. In a recent interview, he criticized actor John Cleese, who in the past has blamed cancel culture for censoring people's speech. Let's watch.
The word should be accountability. You know, I think, John Cleese has been very public recently about complaining about what you got to say. And I just think it must be very hard to be a man of a certain age who's been able to say whatever he liked for years, and now suddenly there's some accountability. It's free speech, but not consequence free.
And Tori, you always say that.
Yeah, I really strongly believe in this. And I think the word cancel culture has been used to backfire against it, because then everyone's like, ooh, cancel culture, and the point gets missed. That's the whole point. What really upsets me about accountability culture is when other people who aren't the reason we had it usurp the movement to think it's about them. It's not about them. It's about realizing certain words push too far and we can be a better society. And a lot of people are like, oh my God, this and about this. You're not part of it. No one's trying to cancel you. You're not a big deal here. You are usurping the movement from the reason we have accountability culture.
But isn't that human nature? Everybody always thinks that everything is about them.
Oh, I do.
So it's like, once you say something, this is what's happening in people's minds. You have someone who is being canceled for or held accountable for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden it's like, have I done that? Am I capable of being canceled? And so that's why people, I believe, push so far back, because they're like, well, this could be the reason why they did this, when they're like, you're not even in that lane.
Right, you're not in the conversation. Right, exactly.
And I think sometimes we overcorrect, so the pendulum swings way too far.
Totally.
And so some of it was needed, and a lot of it is credited to the back of the Me Too movement, which was an important time to cancel people that were violating left and right. Obviously, we still have repercussions and people in jail. But I think when you start to cancel and talk about Dr. Seuss, that's when you start to have people mocking the whole movement.
That's when it backfires.
And I feel like it depends on the messenger, because Graham Norton saying it felt very pleasant. I know the British accent always helps, but it was like, oh yes, accountability, versus when some people are just like, yeah, I don't want to get canceled. Then it's like, all right, you just want to do anything you want to do, and now everybody hates you at every single station. So I think it's just the messenger and how you say it, and just knowing that, like what you said, there's consequences to some things that you say, and you might not give a crap. You might or don't care if you offend people, but just know that no one's going to sit there in silence anymore, because there is a Twitter, there is an Instagram, and everybody's able to have an opinion now.
Yeah, I just think it's, like you said, has gone way too far. Accountability is fine. I hold myself accountable for everything I've done in my life, right? And I think you do have to pay consequences for things that you have done. But it's gotten so far that people are like, listen, you need to leave and never come back, because otherwise I'm going to have to leave and never come back. And it gotten to the point where you're not accountable anymore. You are canceled. You're gone. We can't even deal with you anymore. That's the part I don't agree with.
But Jeff,
I agree with accountability. Not get out of here.
I actually appreciate when people on social media will say, hey, I'm a person who experienced this, and you were talking about this, and you left out this part, or I don't think you spoke to my experience. And I appreciate learning in that way. Yeah. And I can be wrong. I think when you're a comedian, that's when the blinds get blurred, because for so many years we have Delirious, all these specials that crossed every single line. But it was funny because we were all embracing that it was equal opportunity offense to everybody.
Right.
Or even movies like Borat that wouldn't stand today. I think that movie was hilarious. It would not stand today.
Yeah,
but is it because of that, or is it because everybody has a voice, like you said before? before.
Right, and that's why I'm trying to figure out, because I don't mind everyone having a voice. I think that, you know, some people are using it for anger, but I appreciate when it's honest feedback of a situation that I, as a black woman, haven't experienced myself, and they have, and they want me to learn because I have this platform and opportunity to speak on behalf of whomever that day.
Yeah, and I love having those conversations, putting it on the table. I think we got to a point where people are scared to even have those conversations.
Yeah, I know. They're nuanced.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Usurp.
On October 11th, this video claiming to show an American stealth bomber landing in Poland for the first time was shared widely on Twitter. The post pointed out that the B-2 Spirit is capable of carrying multiple nuclear weapons. The video was also shared on Telegram channels that share news about the war in Ukraine, where it was viewed thousands of times. So, let's verify. Does a viral video show a U.S. stealth bomber landing in Poland during the current Russia-Ukraine war? Our sources are reverse image search tool Revi.
Welcome back, everybody, to DBL. Not only is she an amazing actress and producer, but she's also a singer and has a new album filled with duets with some musical legends. Earlier, we spoke with Rita Wilson. Good job, team. Yeah. Take a look.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I kind of just wanted to pour like a little glass of wine and wrap myself up in a blanket.
That sounds perfect.
It's a little early.
Yeah. So Rita, all the duets on your album, Now and Forever, are famous hits from the 1970s. What is it about the music of that decade? Why choose that era?
Well, for me, those songs are still resonant. People still sing them. People still cover them. And they're classics in an odd way. And I feel like I had this sort of connection in my mind between the Great American Songbook and those songs and the 70s. Because in the Great American Songbook, you had, in many cases, people writing for musicals. And in those musicals, those great writers were writing for people to sing from a first-person point of view. And I bridged that into the 70s, where the 70s was the birth, really, of the singer-songwriter. And what were they doing? Writing from a first-person point of view. So I made that connection, and I thought maybe that's why these songs still last and we still love them so much.
Ooh, I live for a musically nostalgic moment, so I'm here for it, exactly where you're like, I know exactly where. Okay, but okay, let's talk about the gram, because you posted a throwback photo on your Instagram. So how did music help you through your teen years, and was there a specific song you turned to for your musically nostalgic moment to get through tough times?
Well, music was always played in my house. I'm actually standing in front of the hi-fi, as we all probably had at some point, which was a TV, a tuner, and a turntable. And we always were playing music. In that case, we were playing probably Beatles albums, but the radio was always on. My mom is Greek. My mom was Greek. My dad was Bulgarian. And I'm a first-generation American. And yet my mom had this really keen ear for music. And so we would be driving in the car and she would say something like, listening to a song, you know, that song going to be a hit. You know, teenager me, I'd be like, no, you know nothing about music. And, you know, cut to 2 weeks later, it's #1. But she also gave me a sense of perspective on how to interpret a song differently. And music, I'd say, listen, if you go through the whole era of Joni Mitchell, Carole King, Linda Ronstadt, Carly Simon, you know, any one of those songs would have captured my mood. And those women, Stevie Nicks, incredible songwriters.
Yeah, and you remember like the times and the places, what you're going through. It just triggers everything. And your album, I mean, let's talk about it. Jackson Browne, Elvis Costello, Vince Gill, Willie Nelson, Smokey Robinson. Those are just some of your duets. Working with so many legends, I have to ask, which recording was the most emotional for you?
Oh, gosh. You know, when we were making this album, it all felt very emotional because people were coming to the sessions with their own personal histories with these songs, whether they had their own experiences with each song, or you think about the writers who wrote the songs and brought them to. But it was very emotional to have somebody like Smokey Robinson, one of the great songwriters of all time, singing with me on Where Is the Love. And then there's Willie Nelson and I singing Slip Sliding Away, which to me, if you hear Willie Nelson, who's almost 90, sing a lyric, the nearer your destination, the more you're slip sliding away, one would think, wow, that's evocative. But I don't think anybody is getting anywhere near slip sliding away besides Willie.
Wow. What a way to put that.
I know. Congratulations, Rita. It's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
The Smokey Robinson, I listened to that this morning. That was amazing. Oh, the Smokey, I'm sorry, really quickly. That just took me back to my grandmother's house, so I appreciate you for that. I was like, I love that song. Thank you.
Go get the album. It'll bring back more memories.
That's right.
So DBL Nation, listen to Rita's album, Now and Forever Duets, available now. Let's take another listen as we head to break. Here's Songbird with Rita and Josh Groban. Thanks again, Rita.
Thanks, Rita.
Thank you. Bye.
And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
If you've spent any time working in the public sector, listen up. More people who've worked in public service can apply for total loan relief, or at least make progress towards it, but just through the end of this month. Let's verify the details. Our sources are the Department of Education, the White House, and Melissa Byrne, student loan forgiveness advocate.
You've done the work of public service. Scoop this up and be done with your loans.
The program is for borrowers in government, military, public schools, public child and family service agencies, and special government districts like transportation or housing authorities, no matter the specific job. The Department of Education website explains the PSLF program can wipe out remaining federal direct student debt after 120 monthly payments under a repayment plan and 10 years of working full-time in a qualified job. However, the White House website explains because of issues with the program's eligibility and implementation in the past, quote, many borrowers have not received the credit they deserve for their public service.
You might have been denied in the past, but because of the waiver, it's really important that you go and apply.
Just until October 31st, 2022, Fell and Perkins loans can also be eligible, and repayments under any repayment plan, even if they were late or for less than the amount due or before consolidation, can count toward the 120 required payments. An applicant does not need to be currently working for the qualified employer, and teachers can now count additional time of service toward the PSLF requirements.
People left and right are realizing that they have the 120 payments. And even if you don't have the 120 payments yet, if you get your application in, it brings everything up to date and gets you on track to get it.
There's a big effort from advocates to get the word out on this. A group of lawmakers recently told the Secretary of Education that only a small percentage of people who could benefit from this program have applied. Check out this story on our website for more information on applying and if this applies to you. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Dennis and Jane Durham saw this post circulating Facebook and asked me to verify if it's true. It claims the coloration of the woolly bear caterpillars, also called woolly worms, predict the upcoming winter. If the woolly bear is mostly black, it means a harsher winter. If mostly brown, it means a milder one. If brown at the head with more black near the tail, it means a winter that starts mild and ends harshly. To verify, we turn to the National Weather Service and Frank Fowler. They conclude that claim is false.
There's been a lot of studies, a lot of folklore about the woolly bear, and no studies have ever concluded that they actually can predict future weather events. However, the coloration and the length of the bands do have a correlation to how severe the previous winter was. When they're born in the spring, they're all black, and the more warm growing season they have, the wider that brown rust-colored band becomes in the middle.
The National Weather Service notes the coloring also indicates the age of the caterpillar. Each time it sheds its coat, it becomes redder. As for why the insects are so furry, Fowler said the coat protects them from freezing down to -90 degrees Fahrenheit. In conclusion, we verified no, woolly bear caterpillars can't predict the upcoming winter, but their coloring can indicate the severity of the previous one.
Welcome back. It's Thursday, so that means we have some great deals from our friends at Morning Save. Check it out.
Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hi, Tori, and hey, DBL Nation. We are so excited to show you the deals today. Tori, this has got our name on it. It is the 2-pack Tan Towel Instant Glow Lotion.
You're right.
So this deal includes 2 ultra hydrating lotions. So what will happen with this is it's going to give your skin a really instant glow, a hint of bronze, and it will gradually build into a sun-safe, healthy, sun-kissed glow. Normally, it's $56. Now it's $17.99, which saves 68%.
That sun-kissed look is all I want.
Yes.
All day, every day.
Now this one, Tori, we've got the Palm NRG Deluxe Massage Gloves and Socks Pain Relief and Recovery System. So the massager uses electrical muscle stimulation to strengthen and rehabilitate your muscles. Normally, it's $189.
Yeah.
But we've got it for just $39.99.
No.
So that saves 79%.
My mom has restless leg syndrome, and I bet this would be great at night for her to relax on.
Tori, we've got the 4-pack Finding Home Farms 10-ounce soy candles.
Love.
Each candle is a different scent. Normally this set is $120.
Ooh.
But now you can get 4 candles for just $24.99. Which saves everyone 75%.
I love candles.
And then Tori, we've got Volksgraf Southport 45-piece flatware set constructed from superior quality 18-0 stainless steel and will stand up to everyday use. Normally, they're $120.
I was like, this is always going to be an expensive item.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But guess what, Tori? We have got the set for $49.99, which saves everyone up to 58%.
Fork over those savings. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can just scan the QR code on screen. It'll take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Steph, thank you so much. These are great.
Tori, are you all over that tanning?
Oh my God, I went like this, swipe, you know?
What did you just knock down?
It was a pen. I'm fine.
Okay.
All right, before we go, I want to wish my son Lawson a very happy 6th birthday. We love you, buddy. Happy birthday. I cannot believe how big he is. We have I put a picture in there of when we first started.
Yeah.
And so that was him this morning at our school.
Wow.
So we walked into school and you get to paint this rock and stuff. So that was
paint a rock.
You paint this rock?
That's beautiful. I love that.
Jordan had to go out. It's like one rock and people keep painting over it. I don't know what the thing
Michigan has that. That's
they do?
Yeah.
And Jordan wrote "Happy Birthday, Lawson."
Aww.
Yeah, whatever.
So what are you guys doing?
So we're just gonna chill. We're maybe taking him to a little game place, have a little birthday party at our house. Like, I don't want to put people out and have we haven't even had like a birthday party for everybody because, you know.
Pandemic, everything.
No, not pandemic.
Oh,
it's just a pain.
Okay.
Not pandemic.
I was like, I use the pandemic excuse all the time. Like,
No,
we just came out of a pandemic.
I'm gonna have a birthday party, and I'm recouping all those Target cards that I gave out over the last couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah. But we're just gonna order his favorite food, have his brother there, got him some cool toys, and just.
What is his favorite food? It's pizza?
I think so.
Pizza?
Yeah. Junk food.
I think junk food.
Yeah, junk food.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I remember Baby Lawson like on this set.
That's what I'm saying. This big, we had a picture of us against the wall, and he was that big. So it's kind of like the age of the show, right?
Yeah,
it's
like both you and Sam's baby.
Yeah.
Like Sam was pregnant when we auditioned. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They gonna be babysitting.
People say time flies, and it sure does. We love you, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow.